Hi folks. Next game I'm going to show is a board game that is called, I'm a huge James Bond fan. In fact, I even made a James Bond game. What I'm going to show you is Spectre. And I have a buddy that was interested in this game, so I thought I'd play maybe a round or two. Keep the video short, maybe under 15 minutes. And just show you how to play, so if you like the game or not. So in the game of Spectre, you are going to be a villain. So on one side, I have Rayo Silva, and he's going to try and accomplish some nasty deeds. And the second person I have is Emilio Largo. So Largo is also a villain in the game. And when you start, you roll dice, and whoever is higher is number one. And what you want to do is go up the Spectre track. So Largo is going to be yellow and Silva will be blue. And you're going to travel around the Spectre track and working your way through a mission deck. So there's going to be 7 missions. This is the first one, on Her Majesty's Secret Service. So we basically just have to put our villains and our henchmen on the board, and then we're going to bid gold, intel, and what is the blue one called? I believe the one's called blueprints. I could be wrong though. In order to win the mission. If you win the mission, you move up on the Spectre track and you can complete a mission card. So each team gets 1 mission card to start. So this is for Silva. You'll have to have an agent in 7, which is here, and you'll have to have 2 agents in 6. And if he does that, he can do this mission. He'll get 3 moves up on the Spectre track. Largo's mission is a little bit easier. He just needs to be number 1. And to start, you roll the dice, and he was number 1. Part of Largo's Disco Volante is that he will start in 3 on 3 and 2 agents, and you don't remove him at the end of a round. So basically you are going to do, I always have my cheat sheet. You're going to draw a mission card, read it out. You're going to try and obtain it. Whoever is number 2 will get a free resource. So Silva took the blue chip, which is to his advantage, because a lot of his things that he wants to accomplish will need down here blue chips. So he grabbed the blue one to start. Once you've taken your resource, you start placing your villain. You place your henchman. The main difference between the two, the villains have a round bottom and henchmen have a square bottom. So they're very similar. Some criticisms about the game were that. Then once you place your villain, you see who's got a majority of agents in the area. And if they do, they'll get a reward. Then you complete the mission card and see the results of that. Then you'll roll bond, which is 2 dice, and you'll move bond around the track, which will block you. And finally, you recover your pawns and you start it all over again. So just begin. Largo's here. And Largo he can work his way into actually winning the game by going through his track in order. So that's going to try and do. So I'm going to try and get 2 gold, silver, and a blue. And he's going to start. I start with 2 yellow here for Largo. So the bonus there is 2 gold. So I don't have to worry about gold. I do want to get intel. So my first move is to go to 7. And I get 2 agents. I get 1 agent in 7. And I'm going to put 1 agent in 6. So if I have the most agents here, I'll get 2 gray and 1 of my choice. So I'm hoping to get all 3 by the end of this turn. So that is Largo's move. He has moved his villain. And Silva will move his villain. Silva's bonus is that when he loses, he gets to go up 2 on the Spectre track. Kind of an interesting thing. When you start the game with 10 agents, so he only has 10 to start. When a mission fails, you advance 2 spaces on the Spectre track. So he doesn't want to help out with the mission. And for the mission, you need to have 6 agents or a bid of 6 combined in order to complete it. So his first move will be here. He will place an agent in 4, and he's going to get rid of a resource to go up 1 on the Spectre track. So he takes the lead. So he is now in the lead. If he is at the lead at the end of the whole round, he will no longer be number 2, and he will get the number 1 sign. So next up is Largo. So Largo is going to go. He wants to make sure he wins these. I think he's going to go here. So he'll put an agent in 2 at Cape Canaveral, and he'll get 2 blue chips. So he's got 2 blue, and finally blue gets to go. And what does he need? He needs silver and gold. He probably wants to block people. He's going to go right here. So he'll put a blue chip here. His reward is 2 gold. So you'll take the 2 gold. So now we have placed our henchmen and our villains. And when you've done that, you go to the majority and you see what you win when you go to the majority. So I'm wondering if I can just zoom in here. And no, it's a little bit too tight, I guess. Maybe if I move this down a little bit. And we can see what the majority is. So 2 has the most amount. And what he can do is move one of his bonus is to move one of his chips somewhere else to block somebody. So I think what I'll do is I'll move my chip here to 5 to block blue from winning, because if he wins this, then that Nambuto Embassy, he gets to move 1 more on the track. The next one, the oil rig, number 2, he's going to get 2 gold. So Largo is going to get 2 gold. He now has 2 gold and 2 blue. Blue wins this one, or Silva does. He will get Spa Resort. His reward is 2 blue chips, or Intel, I believe. This one here is a tie. So when it's a tie, nobody gets it. So nobody gets to move up on the track. Gold or Largo wins this one. So as a result, he will take, I think he'll take 1 more gold. He has a choice of whatever he wants. He's also ahead here. He'll grab 2 Intel. So he now has quite a few chips. And I'll zoom back out again. Replace this. And that is the end of rewarding each of the majorities. And now we're going to go to the mission card. So the mission card is this. You need to have 6 agents on the board. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7. And now they're going to bid to see who wins. If you win, you can complete one of your missions. And you also get to move up once on the Spectre track. So each team is going to bid. Now here's where it's a little bit difficult playing two-handed solo. If I'm blue, I don't want the mission to pass, but it's already going to pass because you just needed 6 agents on the board and there are 7. So I know that the other team has 2, 5, 7 different things they can bid. I only have 4, so I'm probably not going to win. Right now I have 2 on the board against 1, 2, 3, 5. So if I do bid 1, I can get a mission card. So they will bid 1 gold. And knowing the other team is restricted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm probably only going to bid, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to bid 2. That would put me at 7. And that would put me at 7. So if I was the other team, I would look and see that I have a 5-2 advantage. This would give me 7. He only has 4 chips. So 2 guarantees me the win. So this would be the secret bid. This is Largo's secret bid. Both teams would do secret bids. There's Largo's and there is Silva. So Silva will lose. And when you lose a bid, you still get a card. So that will be his card for at least participating. So next time, if he has a villain or a henchman in 4, he'll get 2 Spectre points if he wins the challenge. Now, the other team, Largo, also picks 1 up. And I can spend 3 chips in order to get 3. But he is already number 1 because he won the dice roll. So he's going to cash this one in. And he's going to move up 3 on the Spectre chart. 1, 2, 3. And he's going to cash that in, so he's finished. That is going to be the end of the roll. So we're going to recall all our henchmen and villain. You don't recall Largo. He stays where he is. And now we're going to roll for Bond. So when we roll for Bond, whoever's number 1 gets to roll and make the decision on the dice. And we can re-roll the dice. And for this one, when you roll the dice, this currently states that whoever is here, number 2, gets to decide where he's going to put the Bond chip, if that is his. So, and then I can flip I'm going to flip a scheme with whoever loses. So I think I'm going to re-roll this one, as I don't want number 2. You would flip, what would happen when you lose is that if it was to stay like this, then 2 would force Largo to flip this over. So now he'd need 2 more chips rather than 2, 1, and a 1 in order to deploy 3 agents to region 3. He'd have to deploy 6 chips. So I think we're just going to re-roll this one. And it works out the same. So whenever that happens, this person here has decided that chooses a player to flip a scheme token. So Largo is currently number 1. So 2 is going to get him to flip a scheme token. And he has to show one of his cards. So that is the end of number 1. And, oh, sorry, he has to reveal, Largo reveals one of these, has to show the other player what this is. Then the other player has a choice of where to put the Bond token. When you put the Bond token, all the agents are removed. So Largo will put it on 4, and that means Silva will lose one of his agents, and the agents stay there for the second round. So for the start of the second round, we would draw a new mission card. So this is our new mission card. You only live twice. Objective, you have to place a villain on this card, and then your bids have to be up to 6 intel. So you'd be trying to get 6 intel. If you don't get the mission completed, discard all your blue chips. So all the blue chips would have to be discarded. So we're about to start round 2. If you take a look on the track, we notice that Largo is still number 1. So he'll retain this. And Silva is still number 2. So he will retain this. And he will get a free resource to start. And he will start by taking some intel, since intel is what they're going to need to bid for the next one. And we will go back to Largo, and he's going to replace his villain. So that is a roundabout way of playing Spectre the board game. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it helps. I like the game. It's fun. There's a lot to do. Each of the characters is different, so it's very symmetrical. You have Christatos as another villain Blofeld as another villain, Kleb as another villain, and they each have different things that they do. So all the characters are not the same, and so the game will play out differently all the time. That is Spectre the board game.